Welcome to another edition of the Monday Minute. There are 3 episodes of this video series remaining. Let's spend that time focusing on something we haven't covered much in this series yet: synchronous online teaching. Please allow students to choose whether their cameras are off or on for your courses. Students may prefer to leave cameras off for many reasons. Perhaps their internet connection is unstable and functions better without having to process video. Or they are taking your course during a lunch hour and don't feel comfortable eating on screen. Maybe they're breastfeeding, have social anxiety, or don't want to broadcast their home life on screen because of safety or privacy concerns, or even the possibility of financial comparison. They might feel uncomfortable by what they do or do not have in their home. They may also have physical insecurities. People who are uncomfortable having their picture taken might feel uncomfortable having their face shown in a Zoom session that could be recorded. Even if you're not recording, they might be concerned that a peer could take a screenshot of the session and share the image. So if you're staring into a void of black boxes, how can you keep students engaged? Next Friday, June 25th, from 1:30 to 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'm running a workshop on synchronous Zoom teaching. The workshop will model a synchronous Zoom class. I will even ask you to turn your cameras off at one point to simulate the experience of teaching into a void. Go to bit.ly/syncteaching to join the session. It will be broken into chunks, so feel free to stop by for as much or as little as you'd like. In the meantime, here are 7 tips. Remember what we learned about how much information our brains can hold at once? 7 pieces of information. For keeping students engaged on Zoom, even when videos are off. First, set the mood with pre-class music. Maybe even share your screen with a puzzle or prompt for students to engage with as class begins. Here's an example from a workshop I ran this past March. The image shows a screen with a few letters that stand out because of their color, font, size. If you do something like this, make sure that your puzzle doesn't rely on only one factor such as color. You want it to be universally accessible. What happens when you replace the X's in that bit.ly link with 4 lowercase letters? Zoom has a poll feature. Set up polls in advance for students to respond to throughout the session. You can even use their responses to encourage further conversation. Use the chat box. What an incredible way to engage with introverted students who don't speak up even in face-to-face settings. It's important to set guidelines on how the chat box will be used. Perhaps it's a place to share a reaction or ask a question to eliminate too much side conversation. A great chat box activity is 3, 2, 1, go, or the Zoom Waterfall. Put a question on screen and ask students to type their response, but not to press enter. Then wait a little bit, say 3, 2, 1, go, and watch all the responses come in at once. You can also use the chat for quick check-ins. Perhaps students could respond to a prompt with a 1-word response. Zoom reaction features also allow for quick temperature checks. Make sure you demonstrate how to respond with the reaction feature before you require it. Then ask students to give specific reactions to signify different things. Open a digital whiteboard or something similar for students to engage with during the class session. An editable Google document, an editable Google slide, Google Jamboard, Padlet, or Miro are just a few free options for students to engage with the lesson without having to speak a word. Hopefully these tips will enhance your Zoom teaching experience. Feel free to add more ideas to our open space document, and I hope you will make it to my workshop on June 25th. Have a great day.